We're going to look at length now. The first thing that's important in length is the word kilo. That means 1,000. So if you have 2 kilometers, the kilo means 1,000. So 2,000 meters. That's how you remember it. It works the same for liters and that, but it's important to remember that kilo means 1,000. Now, you have to know this off by heart. You have to go and practice it. 1 centimeter has 10 millimeters. 1 meter has 100 centimeters. 1 kilometer has 1,000 meters. You have to go and learn it off by heart. Like you know the days of the week or the months of the year. You have to know them off by heart. Very important to notice that you times 1 centimeter to get to millimeters, you times by 10. To get from 1 meter to centimeters, you times by 100. And to get from 1 kilometer to kilometers, you times by 1,000. That is very important. So, 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters, which would mean that 2 centimeters will be 20 millimeters. 1 meter is 100 centimeters, so 5 meters would be 500 centimeters. If it was 2 kilometers, it would be 2,000 meters. Now that's very important. When you go that way, you times, because your number gets bigger. Can you see? Because there are more meters than kilometers. But when you have to change it from, let's say, meters to kilometers, then you divide. If you have to change from millimeters to centimeters, you divide by 10 because the number must get smaller. If you have to change from centimeters to meters, you divide by 100 because the number must get smaller. And it will happen if you have meters to kilometers, you will divide by 1,000 to make the number smaller. Here are a few basic examples. Always refer back to this. This is your most important one. Now, 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters. So we have to multiply by 10. So going that way, we have to multiply by 10. That's what our table says. So 4 times 10 will give us 40 millimeters. To get from meters to centimeters, we times by 100. So 16 meters will give us how many centimeters? You write your 16 and you add 2 zeros. So there will be 1,600 centimeters in 16 meters. 5 kilometers, we know we have to times by 1,000. So 5 times 1,000 is 5,000. So there are 5,000 meters in 5 kilometers. Now the bottom one has just changed it. Now we have to divide because we go from millimeters to centimeters. So the number must get smaller. Now before we can look at that, that's very, very important to remember that if you have a whole number, so a number that doesn't have a comma. For example, if we take the number 7, although there's no comma there, if you had to add a comma, the comma would be behind the number because 7 is the same as 7, 0. It's the same thing. So that's important to remember here. Now, to go from millimeters to centimeters, remember from millimeters to centimeters, you are going to divide by 10, which means the comma needs to move 1 space to the left because the number must get smaller. So if we think about it, this is 30, so the comma is there. Now, if it has to move 1 space left, you will move your comma 1 space left. So your answer will be 3 or then 3, 0, but that's the same thing. If we have 550 centimeters, how many meters is that? Remember, to get from meters to centimeters, we times by 100. Now we are going to divide by 100. So my comma has to move 2 spaces because 100 has 2 zeros. 1, 2. So my answer becomes 5, 50 meters. That's 5. If we go from meters to kilometers, we have to divide by 1,000, which means my comma, which is at the end of the full whole number, has to move 3 spaces left because 1,000 has 3 zeros. So we go 1, 2, 3, and my comma needs to be there. So this will become 6,3 kilometers.